Hello, everyone. It's working all right. I'm gonna check that from my YouTube channel. All right, testing audio. I know you guys can see everything okay. All right, everything looks good. So I'm gonna start getting the sets out. I'm gonna build a 7740 and 7823 and 7866 today. So today will be a longer stream. Hello, everyone who's dropping in. So here's 7740. And I'm also going to go grab 7860, 7823, I think should be easy. It's right here. And 7866, I have to go take my, I have a big box of accessories. And I'll have to go grab it. Here's the road plate for that. Oh, you can't see it right here. I think I'll do 7866 first. Maybe I'll do 7740 lastly. Yeah, I think I'll save the box sets for last. I'll do 7866 first, and then 7823, and I'll finish the stream with 7740. Daniel says, "Do you have an eBay store I could purchase the 7760 in? I don't sell on eBay." Oh, you said Ella. I don't know if Ella has an eBay store. I buy from them on, or I know they have a Bricklink store on Bricklink. I'm planning to buy the 7750 from their Bricklink store. All right. I think this was all the bags for 760. I'm not missing any pieces. Tricord, this is 7760 with box on eBay right now for 500 euros. Which eBay site is that? Is that ebay.de or is it ebay.co.uk or? Oh, Ella said you listing one right now. Listen, okay. Ella, do you normally sell on eBay? I know that the eBay takes a fee, and I don't know. I don't think Bricklink does. I never sold on Bricklink, but from what I know, Bricklink doesn't take a fee. Let me see if I can move the camera a little bit. That's better. You can see what I'm building now. Daniel, would it be better to just buy the motor in rare blue parts and then use parts in the collection to build it? Daniel, I think if you want the box or instructions, it's better to buy from like a complete set. But if you don't care about the box or the instructions, it might be a little bit cheaper to just buy the motor and all the other parts. German. Oh, German eBay is free. Oh, it might be because of the United States, like the taxing laws, because eBay takes a certain percent for if you make over $600, they'll take a percentage for tax, and there's always like a listing fee or some kind of fee. Clarkwood says these are free. What do you mean? Like the European eBay sites? Also, I'm missing. You need the cables. They'll all be electric parts, most of them. Tracker, you mean they're local marketplaces, so there are no selling fees, but sellers usually won't ship internationally. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. So eBay.de, but I know there are other like local sites like eBay Kleinanzeigen, which I look at sometimes. I look at listings, but I obviously don't buy anything from there because you need to be local. It's like we sell computers on Craigslist, which is like a local marketplace in the US. Also, no buyer protection on eBay. Like on eBay, so the risk is higher, but good deals can be made. Yes, that is true. That's the case with a lot of like local auction sites, I know. The most annoying part about this set is all the cables managing them. There's no other 12-volt set that has cables so you have to route this like precisely. Even says, can you even help you now we can 730 with a plastic tray lid too? It's getting hard to get the trim with grid motor. Let me see if there are any listings on Bricklane. I think I saw one recently. I was looking. There's one listing right now for 500 euros with the tray lid for 7730. Let me post it in the chat right now. This is from a seller that I buy from. Tricord, you got a complete sensibility with box and instructions in very good shape for 200 euros. Wow. Yeah, that's a great deal. You might also cut a power to the pub to fit inside 7760 with the rechargeable battery. I think if you could put it in the cabin, that might work, but you'd probably have to like paint the sides of 7760 or of the hub. Because the hub is only 4 studs wide and the engine is only 4 studs wide as well, 7760. It's like in the red cargo train 3677. They made a special red covering for the battery box, but they only made it in red. They didn't make it in blue, so you'd have to get another one, or like custom paint it for powered up. All right, so this is the cable is done. This is so annoying. You can see I had to route everything super precisely to fit. Now I got to do the other side. It is very cool and everything's wired up though. So now both sides of the wires are done. And then these ones will kind of just be routed underneath, coiled around, as you'll see later. And you'll say this, you mean like the circuit, take the circuit board out and cut it or make a custom circuit board. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, then you could probably put it inside the boiler, but you'd probably have to take the waste out or just put it inside the cabinet. Yeah. Gabriel, yes, I'm building the level crossing today. And it's hard to see because of the camera angle, but I'm also building 7740 and 7823 in reverse number order today. Okay. My instructions for this set are a little bit damaged. You can see that the cover is like torn off. And the second page, yeah. Not in great condition, but that's okay. And there's the wires. You can see they're under the tracks. And I'll keep putting the rails on, building the rails on top of them, and then they'll get just stuffed under the tracks. You always have to be very careful about aligning the gears for the level crossing motor. Sorry, let's read Jack. In stream videos, you have manual level crossing, a small blue house for the level crossing keeper shelter in. That was 7834 and from 1980. Daniel, you might use it ESP32 or other microcontroller in combination with a powered up hub as a relay to communicate with the other trains. Okay, yeah, that's a cool idea. Like retrofitting or modern modification for 7760 and other total gray stuff. Was my level crossing from blue or gray area? Oh, 10 stream videos, 7834. Yeah, great track. Have I ever opened up the electric actuators for the crossing? No, I have not. I do have a broken one, so I think I might make a video on that eventually, seeing if I can repair it. I know it's electromagnets inside, but yeah, I never opened the one up. The motors are pretty hard to open up because I guess we can take this one off. You have to run a knife all the way around here. And I would imagine it's a little bit like the 12-volt motors, like the train motors. But it's pretty it's pretty difficult because there's such a thin, like the crack is very thin, and you can never get it the same. You can never get it to look perfect again, and it'll always have some damage to it. But if it's already broken, then maybe it's not so bad. Demonstrating videos. You wish you still had all your Lego in the boxes, or man, you got rid of them. Did you have any 12-volt sets with the boxes or other sets? Lots of 12-volt trains in Lego City, Robin Hood, Pirate Ship, or Castle. Oh dang, yeah, that's a lot of sets too. With the boxes, I'd imagine that's pretty expensive. Level Crossing with the flashing lights was the best one, but you never had it. Yeah, this is what I'm building right now, 7866. Daniel, you wonder if there's a chemical solution that debonds the glue Lego uses without destroying the bricks. Would it make repairing 12 and 9 volt stuff way easier? I agree with that. I know that you can use acetone to dissolve super glue, but I'm not sure if the super glue that they use, like if it was super glue that they used. I've heard that some of it is like some type of weld, or I'm not 100% sure. Something that can weld plastic, which I know super glue can weld plastic, but I don't know if it was like acetone super glue that they used or some other kind of glue. Maybe you could try like nail polish remover, which has acetone in it. If you like soak, or not soak, but if you apply acetone like with a rag or something like that, like a cloth, and you kind of soak the motor in it, but still the super glue is like between plastics. I don't know if it would work. I think the way that most people just open up stuff is just use the knives, but yeah, that's not a great solution. It will it damages the exterior of the motors, and you have to be very, very careful. I've seen a lot of times people have like butchered motors, like they'll have a lot of cracks on them, or like scrapes from the knives. It's not easy. The first one I did, I didn't like mess it up too badly, but it was definitely damaged afterwards. Another area you have to be careful with these, the level crossing, is these barriers. If there's too much tension, the motors won't activate it correctly. Because the motors are under a lot of stress from having to raise the barriers. So you have to make sure that the gates spin properly. If the gears are too tight on the axles, they won't spin. And make sure to line everything up super carefully. So this is aligned correctly. As you can see, it goes all the way up to 90 degrees and then down all the way to the barrier. Sometimes I see in videos, the level crossings don't work correctly because people either tighten the gears too much or oh, see, this one is, I think this one is, oh, this one's just missing the 1x1 brick here to stop it. But there. Yeah, they should go all the way up to 90 degrees and then all the way down to the barrier smoothly. A little Lego move. Oh, Lego Movie has one solution. Yeah. Demonstrating videos. The lethal level crossing the live third rail to execute many pedestrians. Hello from the US, Kexy's Brick Builds. Hello, hydrogen peroxide. Yeah. One of yours stops a little bit too early. Yeah, so if the gears aren't like perfectly aligned, like let me show you. If the gears are like, or if you do it like this, if you put the barriers on, oh, it's a little bit hard to see, where the gauges are like on the ground, then oh, this one works. Interesting. Yeah, there's a way if you like, move the motor like a little bit and you do like this, then it won't go up to 90 degrees. If you have the motor misaligned or the gears misaligned, everything, this is a very like meticulous set that you have to be super careful building. And the wires as well, make sure those are aligned correctly. I always test the wires before I put them on before I put it on the layout, so I can make sure that it'll go the correct direction. Okay, so you just trim one of the gears 90 degrees. Yeah, trim one of the gears like 90 degrees, or yeah, again, just like kind of you have to play with it a little bit. And there's a certain way you can do it because they're 14 teeth gears. You have to align the gears very specifically so that one of them is like a certain way in the axle, the other one is perpendicular in the axle. Yeah, it's hard to explain in words. And stream videos was automatically operated, or do you push a button? You push a button. So this is the remote for it. There are two jacks, two plugs. Actually, I can do a demonstration. I'll set up my like a little transformer. I'll show you guys how it works. But you push the button and the barriers will raise and lower, and then the lights will flash with a special flash. So yeah, I'll build it and then I'll give you guys a little demo. I'll need to check check and make sure that the wires are aligned correctly. Sometimes if you flip the wires around, then one of the gates will raise, one of them will lower. Or if the one going to the remote is flipped, then it'll just the gates will go the wrong way. Like both of them will. If you press the button for the gates to go up, they'll both go down. I think this set had the highest age rating of any of the 12-volt sets. I think it was 12 and up. Whereas the other ones, as you see, like the 740 here, oh, it's hard to see on camera, but it says 8 years, and I think the rest of the sets were all 8 years, from 8 years. But yeah, this one I think was 12 or maybe 10, but it was the highest age rating, and that makes sense because this is a very complex set to build. Everything has to be exactly right for it to work exactly right, and if it's not, it won't work correctly. Ella, your remote is rattling. How is it rattling? Mine is not rattling. This is the early version remote from 1983. Train videos. You never had any electric operated points or signals, but all the switches for them are cool, and you send them on other people's layouts. Yeah, the 12 volt era. I mean, again, I keep saying it. The reason that I wanted to get into it was because of all the remote accessories, including this level crossing. You know, the decouplers, the points and signals. Yeah. Track Crew, do I have the original box for that? I do not have the original box for this set. I got it for around 100 and I think it was 150 US dollars or somewhere around there before shipping. So it was a pretty good deal. The box for this set is hard to find. Ella, you're not sealed when it's rattling and only works sporadically. Is it the early or the late one? Like, does it have the springs here? Or is it where like you push one button and it's hard to describe the early versions versus the late ones. The early versions are very clearly like springy. Both sides are springy. The other one is more smooth, and there's a like once you push it down, maybe about 3/4 of the way or halfway, there's a very it gets harder to push because there's lighter springs inside for each button, and you're moving a switchboard that moves like this inside. I've never opened them, but I've seen pictures of people opening the early version versus the late versions. There's a springboard for the inside of the later ones where it's pivoting on the central like axis, and it moves up and down to provide contact for either of the metal traces in the board. But the earlier ones are just like 100% spring loaded. You see they're always like very consistent. You can hear the springs in them. But yeah, the later ones sometimes will rattle a bit. So 1983. So yeah, it's an earlier one. I'm not sure why that would be rattling. Maybe your spring is like worn out. Not sure. All right, we're building the control tower right now. It's a little bit hard to see. I should probably build this post up. It's broken sometimes and you need to shake it really hard for it to work. That seems very odd. Maybe one of the like traces inside, like the little metal bits that activates the it connects the power to the function. Maybe one of those is broken. I'm not sure. I think I'll do one more stream maybe sometime this week. And I'll do the 7745 and the 7824, the station. And I also have to build 7810, the little steam engine. So maybe I'll do another stream, maybe tomorrow or yeah, another day this week. I'll just do that. You still don't want to open your new sealed one. How can you open the broken one? I've never opened one of the remotes. I've seen other people do it though. I think you have to like pry the buttons off, and yeah, it's not a super clean process. You have to like get the buttons off, and then I think you can like, I want to say you can run a knife around this, but check whatever tutorials they have on Eurobricks. Fortunately, mine like all my remotes work properly. One reason, actually, I'm thinking of this now. One other reason, if it doesn't work properly, just make sure you check all of the cable connections. If the cables, so if you plug them in here and they're loose, like if they rattle around and they're easy to come out, try putting in, I don't know if you've done this, but try like putting a knife blade in between them and just widening the connectors a bit, because if the connectors are too thin, they won't make proper contact with the female sockets in here, and then the connection between the prongs will not be good, and then it won't activate everything all the time. That's what I'll always do if my cables are like they're not tight inside the holes. Just put a knife through them and widen the prongs just a little bit to make it tight inside there. Tricord. There are YouTube videos that show the inside of these. Yeah, not an easy mechanism. Yeah. Ella, who wanted your 7760? Was that? That was Daniel. I haven't seen him message in a little bit. Aiden, do I plan on doing videos on some of the other 7777 builds eventually? I mean, I have the one. I have, obviously, as you know, I have the engine. I would like to do some more on like the other freight wagons and the loading depots and stuff. I just don't have the bricks for that right now. And I also don't have the space. But yeah, eventually, and when I get more like space, we'll do like town sets and like have more, proper layout with a whole setup. So this is now all complete, and I will grab my transformer and plug it in, and then I'll show you guys how it works and just the wires and everything. Try putting together all the parts to the 77 without having to take out stuff from your 7750s. Oh wow! So did you buy all the parts like individually? I'm assuming you did. And let me go find my transformer, voltage converter, all that stuff. Got set up. It's been a long time since I set up a 12-volt transformer. almost a year since I read my 12-volt trains. I've been in school the entire year. I've heard you did end up buying all the parts individually. How much was it for you? If you don't mind me asking. I think mine was about, for all the parts for it, it was like $450. But that's not including the red motor. Red motor was like, well, I didn't buy it. I repaired it, so it didn't cost anything. But if I was to buy a red motor, it would have been another probably $150 to $200. Let me test everything. We'll see if everything works. I'm not sure if it will. Yeah, so this one is flipped. So as you can see, if I press the down button, the lights start flashing. You can see that. Might be a little bit difficult to see it. So this one, if I press it down, this barrier goes down, but this one goes up. So that means I got to flip a whole bunch of cables because this one here going to the barriers should be flipped. So if I flip this, now if I press it down, this goes down. So this is correct, but that one goes up. So now I got to flip the one over here, and then everything should be okay. Yeah, this one's a little bit, it's not going up and down super smoothly, so I loosen that a little bit. Also, I think that motor is a little bit weaker than the other one. A little bit better, I think. Yeah, so that's how it works. Ella, you have black 2x4 windows in new condition. What do you mean black 2x4? You mean like the 2x2 ones or 2x1? Or there will be 2x1 by 2x2 or 1 by 1x2. And so yeah, that's the level crossing. I think it might be a little bit hard now. I'll tilt this up so you can see the lights flashing. If I press the button for the barriers to go up, the barriers will go up, and the lights will stop flashing. If I push them down, then the barriers go down and the lights start flashing. Yeah, that's how it works. Super cool set. All right, so I'm going to I'll put the cables. I'll tie them back up. I just usually tie the cables up if I'm not using everything. I don't really like to have a bunch of cables running all over, especially when all my sets are in not storage mode, but they're built and they're not in a layout. I love the big ones from 7750. Okay. Yeah, that 1 by 1 by 2 windows. Yeah. Those are from 7750, 7810, and 7727 and 7730. They're around $10 each if you buy them used. All right. So this output here, put the remote over there as well. And I'm going to put the instructions and stuff away real quick. Find box of accessories that don't have, the original boxes. So I have the track sets and instruction for 7745. And these are my 4.5 volt track sets. Also 7867, the light code set. I'm also going to have the transformer away real quick. Tricord, how come the electric cables are expensive or so expensive? You'd expect them to be more of a commodity. Collectors are, for which one, the connectors or the windows? I would say the windows. I've seen them priced anywhere from like $15 to like $30 for the 1 by 1, the 1 by 2 windows. I think it depends on the condition. If they're like, brand new, no scratches, whatever, then you can probably charge $30 for them. But if they got some like shelf wear, then maybe a little bit more, or a little bit less. Tricord, the cables are expensive. Good question. I think because they were only from the 12-volt era. I know the one stud connectors are pretty expensive. They're like maybe $1 each, which is like not that expensive on a if you only look at one of them, but you need basically four of them for each cable, so it becomes $4 or $5 for each cable. So yeah, original cables are not super cheap. Also because you have to maintain them. I don't know how many people like actually do the work to like unscrew them if the cables are getting loose. You have to like unscrew them and cut the wire, strip them again, and yeah, reassemble the cable almost. I saw 14 viewers for a second, which is quite good. All right, so let's get everything out of the box here. I still keep the original sticker sheet for this set, even though it's like there's no stickers left on it, but I just like to keep the sticker sheet anyways. I think it's cool. This is such a thin instruction book for building like a massive crane. It's only 9 steps long to build the entire crane. Oh, 10. You can count that 10th step. But it's 9 steps, not including like the steps for the wagon and everything, but still 9 steps to build an entire crane. Oh, it's awful to repair those cables. Yeah, it's very annoying. You have to get the screws exactly lined up right. Tricord, you don't mind repairing them or creating new ones with old connectors? It's all just so expensive. Yeah, I agree with that. Hello, why did I use the new 7823 sticker sheet? Because I got this at a pretty good price. And I think the danger stickers and everything actually add a lot to the set. I really like the danger stickers on trains, like especially 7755, 7760. I think the danger stickers look super nice. So I decided to use the sheet. I know they're like not super common, but I think you can still get them. I haven't checked for a couple months, but there was a seller in the US selling them for the sheets for about $30 each, so it's not super expensive. So I decided to use them. And I keep all the stickered bricks in here, so they're still in like basically new condition. I get the set for in like very, very good condition from a US seller. Tim's train video, some of the other container cranes for the ships and port were cool too. Yeah, I've seen some of those in like other like layouts. I don't own any obviously, but I agree they're pretty cool. Hello, $20. Yeah, so see, not that expensive. Obviously it's still $20 for like a piece of paper with some adhesive on it, but as far as old sticker sheets go, $20 is not that much. Considering some of the train sets are $100 plus for pretty much any of the train sets. It's $100, $80 for a sticker sheet. Except maybe 7725, 7735 are a little bit less, like $50. But if you want a new 7740, new 7750 sticker sheet, that's going to cost you around $150, $140 maybe. Not cheap. Record, you can get replica sticker sheets from a store in the Netherlands. Yeah, and I think I know that store that you're talking about. I forget the name, but I know what you're talking about. There are a lot of stores that sell those replica sticker sheets. I looked at the original bags for 750 looks. Do I know how the original bags, the plastic ones, depending on the production run, some of them had holes, some of them did not. They just look like standard Lego bags, from that era. Yeah, depending on the production run, some of them had holes, some of them didn't. Ella, out of curiosity, where do you get all your new sets from? Like, do you get them from Kleinanzeigen or eBay.de, or do you have other places that you go for sets? Ella, you found some with holes in more of the original ones. Yeah, the ones with holes are original, just depending on the production run. I don't know what year they switched to, like why some of them have holes and some of them don't. I'm guessing it was like an early versus later production run, just like with the green trays with the corners. The ones without the corner supports are a later run, um, but probably something to do like that. Yeah. LA, you found a brand new 7153. Which one is that one? Oh wow, the original slave one. How much is Django from that? Yeah, $150. The old Star Wars minifigures are so expensive. Yeah, 2002 slave one. Yeah. I think today I'm going to work on, after I finish the stream, I'm going to work on some filming for the review of the 750, like the alternate diesel model, and then also work on scripting my 735 review. So I want to make some progress on that. I'll probably shoot the footage before I travel next week, and then I can like edit it while I'm traveling. Oh yeah, I broke one of these tiles. This was annoying. Forgot that last time. So let me see if I have a spare 1x2 blue tile. Sorry, different color. I'll do it blue. See. Yeah, I do have a new 1x2 tile. Again, not the same color, but I have one. Visit Germany, visit Belgium. I wonder one day. I'm going to Ireland for because my dad's on a business trip, so I'll be there. But definitely want to visit Germany, Belgium one day. Buy some sets there. It's so cool to know that people still love Lego 12-volt trains. I think I'm one of the only ones that does. That actually posts on YouTube now. But yeah, there's definitely a small but dedicated following to 12-volt trains. Hello, Xavier. Nice to see you. Thanks for dropping in. I'm building 7823, the container crane depot. I'll show you the box right here. So you guys can see that okay? Yeah. And then build 7740 after as the last set for this stream. 13 viewers. Yes, that's good. The color looks pretty good, actually. If you look at the color comparison, this is the new tile in the middle. That looks pretty good. Complain about that. I see you bought that one last week on eBay, 723. Nice. Did it have the box? Xavier, you got the 12-volt trains converted to the 9-volt motor. You love the looks of the 12-volt trains. Yeah, I've seen like people convert the 12-volt trains to 9-volt. I mean, I understand that. Obviously, I like the 12-volt system better because of the electronics and everything. And the 9-volt system is much, much easier to maintain than the 12-volt system. But I've seen a lot of people do that. If you remember Almighty Arjun, he made a couple videos about big Lego train layouts, and he always had like the 7740 converted to 9-volt with like some of the sleeper carriages and then he restored them back all to 12-volt for his big 12-volt layout video. So that was cool. He had like custom lighting in there as well. XE, unfortunately, without the box. Oh, does anyone need a 6371 for $50? That's really cheap. If you look on Bricklink, it's like $90 even without Django Fett. Ella seems to be a keen seller. I agree. With instructions, you want to get rid of it. It does have Django Fett. If it has Django Fett, it's a good deal, even if it's misprinted. So if yeah, but you got a lot of the train tracks of 9-volt, so it's cheaper to keep using the 9-volt setup into the 12-volt. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. The 9-volt straight tracks are very expensive. Even 12-volt straight tracks are still like, about I think it's $2 per track, and with all the pieces, maybe $2.50. But 9-volt tracks are but over $4 per straight track. Yeah. Next to you not even sure if you could have paid a good price, but the quality is very, very good. Those colorations, clean bricks, hardly any scratches, actually perfect. Okay, then that's good. Even if it doesn't have the box set in such good condition, it's very nice. One thing that I find very annoying about this set is that the wheels for the truck, if you try to put them on the way, so this is where it says to put them in the instructions right here. But if you do that, then the tires can't spin, and that's because this is a later production run of the set. And if you know these, like the plates with the 1x1 like clips, these had thin or thick ring versions. These are the thick ring versions because this is a later run. The earlier versions came with the thinner ones, but the thinner ones allow you to put the wheels in the correct position and they'll spin properly. But because the thicker ones, they protrude more this way and they interfere with the tires, so it won't spin properly. So I always have to put the wheels one stud forward. So that's kind of annoying to do. This is not built according to the instructions. Ellie had like 200 tracks, all types, but didn't sell one. Some of those are 9-volt straights. You are very lucky. 9-volt straights, again, they're not cheap. I could pay $100, only get 25 9-volt straights. That's crazy. Maybe one day. I do like the Mechliner a lot. Xavier, am I afraid of the old grain sunlight? You said that rose Lioness Castle has severe gray discoloration. Yeah, I mean, if you leave them out in the sun for a while, like direct sunlight, they'll get discolored. I always have my sets inside, and like for example, my window, I have the blinds like kind of closed, so they're not like in direct sunlight, and I store my sets where they're not getting direct sunlight. Um, they're obviously like there's some light coming in, but the sun is not directly shining on them, so I'm not that worried about discoloration. And you can always reverse it with hydrogen peroxide. It obviously is not perfect, but it can be reversed. In a couple weeks, when I start building my layout for layout 16, you guys want to see me stream when I set that up? I think that'd be a cool idea for a stream. I just stream for a couple hours and work on setting up the layout. Usually the layout takes me at least a couple hours to set up because I have to make the track and you have to do all of the cabling, put all the accessories on and everything like that. It's not, and yeah, making the cables look nice is probably the longest part out of the layout, which is kind of stupid because I only leave my layouts up for a couple weeks, but I think the cable, like organizing the cables and everything, um, makes it look a lot nicer. So what tracks for $1 a piece? Wow. So have you tried hydro with white bricks, but somehow you didn't feel you feel like the clutch power feels different. Interesting. I never noticed that. I put a couple of blue bricks and white bricks from 7730. Actually, it's mostly white bricks because the box car of 7730 when I got it was very discolored. And it works. I was kind of impatient. I wanted to, build my set, so I didn't leave them in for that long. It was a couple hours maybe, but it definitely improved them a lot. I didn't notice any, differences with the clutch power of them. This is the wagon for 7823, and honestly, I actually really like this wagon. This is probably one of my favorite 12-volt freight wagons overall, from like a supplemental set or even from any set. I just like the two like containers that you can put on it. I think it looks super cool. In the stream videos, the Blue Era had a crane as well, set 165. I think I've heard of that set. Tricord, you watched that live stream? Yes. Okay, good to know. Maybe I'll do that. Yeah, once I start setting up my layout in a couple weeks. Xavier, yeah, Hydro is a magic trick. You did some on the gray after trying on the white, but replacing white and blue bricks is cheaper than going for Hydro. You only use Hydro for special parts for old gray. Makes sense. I guess if you have like, printed parts or whatever, then using hydrogen peroxide can be good if the printed parts are hard to find. Oh, you have a lot of 12 volt tracks for $1 per track. If those are straight tracks, again, that's a good deal because, yeah, all in. If you're gonna buy all the parts for them, normally it's like $2.50 per track. Although maybe it'd be cheaper if you just bought the sets. If you buy like this, if you buy like 7850, I think it's 7854 is the 12 volt straight rails. Maybe you can get them a little bit cheaper. Because sometimes people will like just bundle all the parts and sell them as 7850, 7854, or even if they have the box, then obviously that's a set. I think it's cool how even in this set they have like cargo for the free containers. You put 4 of these yellow bricks in each one. If you're curious on people's thoughts about their official sticker parts, or can I live with unofficial sticker replacements? Personally, I prefer to have original stickers. Maybe if I'm gonna do like a mock or something, I would do replica stickers. But for all my original sets, I would prefer to have stickers. I think I'd rather have have replica stickers than no stickers. But if I can, I will pay the money for actual stickers. Ellie, you have to leave. Okay, thanks for dropping in. Nice day as well. Tricord, you rather sticker stuff than replica stickers to keep the original sheet intact. Oh well, you have an unused sticker sheet for 750. Yeah, that's nice. I have never broken an expensive sticker sheet. I did buy one for 7,820, but I got that sticker sheet like specifically to put the stickers on the set because mine didn't come with stickers or a sticker sheet. But for the train sets, what I did is I actually bought 7760 like stickers that were already on bricks. and then I kept the original sticker sheet untouched. All right, let's get building on the main parts of the set. I'm pretty excited for the next layout that I'm going to make. I'm going to make it the best layout that I've ever made. I'm going to hopefully learn some more editing skills so that I can make a better video. I have hopes for, one of my videos to do super well, get like many thousands of views. That'd be nice, but so far nothing has happened. Stream videos, but the Nano container crane set look cool too. So it's 40, 45, 55. I know that set as well. Yeah, that's a cool crane. I think 7823 looks a little bit more, like industrial. I quite like it. Xavier, there's the Dutch guy who also did a lot of 12-volt with towns and such. Do I have plans to do that too? Built sets from the 12-volt city towns and put them also in the layout. Yeah, someone asked that in one of my streams a couple of days ago, but I don't think you were here for that. So I'll answer it again. Like, because I'm, a college student and I don't have my trains, set up all the time, I don't really want to build a town sets yet. But once I get my own place and I can make like a little bit more of a permanent layout and not have to keep taking my trains down, and because we also use my tables for other stuff. This is actually as hard as I haven't showed it, but I only have 2 tables set up right now because we need 2 tables for something else, and then I'll be able to use them after I get back from traveling in like 2 weeks. Then I'll set up a layout. But yeah, that's a very long answer. But the short answer is basically I'm going to do that eventually. I just don't have the space or permanent setup for that right now. But I do really like the older town sets, and I think it'd be cool to get some eventually and add those to the layout for a more, realistic and more permanent setup. In stream videos, you had the crane wagon 7817, but that's the only crane I ever had. I actually quite like 7817. There's 7817 and 7814. Those are the 2 crane wagons. Both of them are cool. I think I like 7817 a little bit better because of like the swiveling crane in the middle. I think that's a cool design. I don't have either of them. I still have to get like a bunch of the supplemental sets and wagons and stuff like that. Like I want 7822, that station. with the overhead bridge, but that's hard to find with the box. And there are a couple other like wagons. Like I don't have either the shell wagons. I don't have the 7818, the passenger carriage. Yeah, bunch of stuff that I don't have right now. Obviously, I have all the 12-volt trains now, though, so I'm happy about that. I also might get, the 4.5-volt trains. Like I do like 7815 or 7715. I think that one's cool. I like the red buffers on that and the steam engine design. I could put a 12-volt motor in that, even a red motor. I have an extra red motor, although I think I'd rather build a steam engine, like a custom steam engine like that instead. But there's that one, 7 or 7710, not 7810. I have 7810. 7710 I think is okay. I don't quite like it as much. And then there's 7720, 7722. I don't have either of those as well. Those are pretty cool. I like the danger stickers on 7720. Some water real quick. That figure is, thanks. Yeah, from the name. That's a very old online name that I made. Yeah, I know. I like collecting the older sets, and I think that these are, I mean, they're obviously toy trains, but they're so much more advanced than other trains. Like any other system that Lego has ever made. Even the Blue Era, it had automatic switches, but they're not as the system was not as, just not as modular as the Gray Era for 12-volt. Tim's train videos. Remember getting 7715 for Christmas, and also a motor and a third rail track so I could power it. Oh yeah, I've seen other people get that, like 4.5-volt or push train sets, and they've got the motors and power them. Xavier, yeah, I got a lot of comments when I, mentioned that I was in college in the battery powered bricks Discord. People are like, "Wow, I thought you were a lot older than you actually are." But yeah, I'm in college. There's some other collectors that I know. Actually, Ella's in university as well, and they resell Lego sets. I'm like, I respect that. I respect the business. My brother and I, we run like a computer business where we refurbish and resell PCs that would go to the recycling from universities, and that's how we make our money. So I definitely can respect the reselling business. We're actually thinking we would make a YouTube channel on that. I don't know if you know this is a very off-topic rant, but why not? I'm just building Lego sets. So if you guys know the YouTube channel Salem Techsperts, he runs a computer store in Salem, Massachusetts. We really like that channel, and we kind of want to use that as inspiration for our business because we do basically the same thing, where we refurbish stuff. I don't know if anyone here has any idea who Salem Techsperts is, but he's gotten pretty big. He has like 2 million subscribers now. We started watching him like, I don't know, maybe a year or two. I love his videos. I think he's very funny. So we're thinking we might create a YouTube channel for that this summer or very soon. Since it's 15, you're not so much the numbers and trains. I don't have 7715. I will drop a link to the Bricklink listing right now. It's just a little push passenger steam train, a little passenger engine, and two passenger cars. I don't know that one. I was gonna buy one when I went to Denmark, and It had the DKSSF box, but the inside of the box was kind of damaged. It didn't have the inner tray or divider or anything like that, so I ended up not getting it. Because the 7735 that I ended up getting was in much better condition. Yeah, that is a cool little starter set. I like that one. Probably the best out of all the starter sets. It was an 85, so it's a little bit like it was towards the end of the 12 volt era, so a little bit more, like refined. I do think that the later sets look like smoother, if that makes sense. I think that's good in a way, but also like some of the earlier, a little bit less smooth designs are better. But for the starter sets, I do think I like 7715 the best. 7720 is just a little bit weird. Like it's cool, but the design of the engine is just kind of funky, and I don't like that 4.5 volt motor in the front. Tim Strambenage, you got that when you were 6. Dang. So you were an AFOL, adult fan of Lego. I guess you can technically qualify me as an adult, but I'm sure much younger than many other collectors. If you resell meat, you're a butcher. Okay, that makes sense. Hello, Gabrielle. Gabriel. I'm building 7823 today. Tricord crazy when you think the earlier gray SS were 1980. That's 45 years old. Yeah, I know they're really old now. It's crazy. For toy trains, and we're still buying them. Xavier, you buy meat, you produce sausages, and the whole mincemeat steaks, barbecue products, and sell them for profits. Sound familiar? Yes, I know. Of course, we have those in the US as well. Although we usually just go to the grocery store, and there's like just a butcher station there. Welcome back, Daniel. Ella had to leave, but they did post the eBay link. It's up in the chat somewhere. I think you can probably scroll to find it. Tricorn, I'm perhaps a bit younger than you guys are, but how did I get involved in the total gray era Legos might be an interesting story. I've told this story a couple times to various people, but yeah, I'll repeat it again. I like explaining how I got into it. So when I was a kid, well, okay, I'm not a kid anymore. I'm an adult, but like when I was a young kid, like 5 years old or so, I played with Lego trains a lot. And I had the like remote control slash like the power functions era trains. My first train set was the 7938. I don't know if you know that one. It's like the red passenger train from I think it was 2009. I got that. I want to say it was a birthday present from year. And yeah, I remember building it. I got some of the other sets. I had 7898, the green cargo train, and 3677, the red cargo train. So I played with those a lot, and I also watched a lot of YouTube videos. And one of the videos that I watched, if you guys know it, is called "Running Late" by MTX499. It has about I had like 250,000 views, and obviously that's about the 12-volt system. So when I was like young, like 5 to 7 years old, obviously I didn't know about the 12-volt system. It was never released in the US, so it was just like, oh, cool, Lego trains. But that video, I guess, it stuck with me because when the pandemic hit and we were all kind of stuck at home, I decided to rebuild my old Lego trains from that era, like 2010 ish, and I was watching some videos. This was so 2020, 2021 ish. I was watching because I started collecting in 20, I think it was September of, trying to remember. I want to say it was September of 2020 that I started collecting. That was when I bought my first set. So I bought my first 12-volt set then because I was watching the videos. Like I found Running Late again. I found some other 12-volt videos and I like rewatched them and I was like, wait, this is actually really cool. Because I realized, obviously, as I was older, I realized that the electric accessories are super cool. So then I did some more digging online and I found out a little bit more about these 12-volt sets. But there was not much information online about them, which is, I mean, that kind of goes into how I started my channel. But yeah, I bought one of the sets from Bricklink. 7745 was my first one. Bought that in September. It got here, I want to say around November, maybe, or maybe I bought it in October, something like that, in the fall of 2020, and that's when I started collecting. It was super cool. It was a journey to get started because it was like I had to figure out everything for myself because there wasn't a lot of information. I had to make sure I got the correct like voltage converter and everything. I did a lot of research on it. But I finally got stuff running, and then I bought more sets. And then in August of 2022, that's when I started making videos on them because there's a lot of information scattered around the internet about 12-volt sets, but I wanted to kind of create a place where all the information's in one place, and I do a lot of videos about the history of the 12 volt era, do like reviews and stuff like that. So yeah, that's the story of how I started collecting 12 volt. Basically, all started with a couple of videos, and those were my inspiration for collecting. It's a very long story, but yeah. Daniel, not able to. No, I'll repost that. Just looking through. I'm trying to find the link that Ella posted. Oh, maybe they didn't post the link. Hold up. 1 second. Maybe they didn't post it. Or maybe it might be on an international eBay. Let me go check ebay.de. Sorry, guys, bear with me. Okay, I think I found it I think I found it, but I will, you might want to email the seller and just ask if they're from my stream. Oh, got a lot of comments. Oh, also, I saw one of the other comments from, Tricord, you said a while back. You've been thinking of doing sets in different colors. You've seen a 7760 in red, but what can I do? What could you do in blue? You can do 7755 in blue. I've seen that in blue, and they have the blue weight bricks. Obviously, those are not super common, but you could do that in blue. That'd be a cool build. What else could you do in blue? You could recolor the 7740. Maybe it's like blue and yellow. All right. Gabriella, it's incredible. Like Italian Lego forums, you post updates about your project, and no one has ever replied. Oh dang. Maybe try posting on Eurobricks because Eurobricks is a little bit more international. You'll probably get some comments on there. I post there. Tricord, no problem. Gabrielle, last night you posted on Eurobricks. Oh yeah, Eurobricks. Yep. Just said that. Yeah, Eurobricks is great. 10 stream videos. You loved all the 12 trains, but don't understand why Lego went for the third rail or the conventional 2 rail. I think it was just for power delivery there. Xavier, thank you for the €2. You really like to hang out and chat with me. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah, I do this because I love 12 volt trains, but it always makes me happy to chat with other fans of 12 volt trains and yeah, connect with members of the community. Just to compete with the model train world? Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure. I think just power delivery and I would imagine that they didn't think of the idea of rotating train, like rotating power pickups, if that makes sense, for the 9 volt. Almost done with 7823, and then I've been streaming for like an hour 40 minutes. So yeah, today will definitely be a longer stream, but it's okay. Gave you good advice. Thanks for dropping in. Hope to see you. I'll probably do another stream this week where I do 745, the last train set that I got to build, and 7822, the station, or 7824. So I hope to see you there as well. I'm wondering if I should post the Eurobricks link. Make a little post before I start building 7740, because 7740 is like the most probably, well, we've been over this. It's one of the most famous train sets, in my opinion, ever produced. So I wonder if there would be some people interested in watching me build 7740. I'll post the Eurobricks link. I'm sure you have to rob a bank, and so you can collect some vintage Lego trains. Thanks for dropping in. I'm gonna go. For those of you who are still here, thanks for sticking around, and I'm gonna post a video on Eurobricks right now, or post a link to my stream. One second while I create a new topic. Charcoal, you have to get a laptop charger to keep watching. Out of curiosity, what kind of laptop do you have? All right, I'm posting a link on Eurobricks right now, so hopefully some more people will join the stream. Sharkity said some stuff. Okay, yeah, my brother and I we like repair laptops, so I know quite a bit about laptops. So I'm just wondering if you have a gaming laptop, because I know the battery life on those suck. I own a gaming laptop, so I would know. Hopefully some people from Eurobricks will show up, because I posted there. I should do more posts on Eurobricks. I'll definitely do one when I do my layout video for layout 16, which will be in a couple weeks probably. I'm curious. So, if everyone watching here, which 12 volt sets do you own? Just the train sets, like out of the 9 from 7725 to 7760. I've heard you have everything except 7750. Can't really bring yourself to buy it after 7727. 7727 super expensive. Obviously, 7727 is not cheap if you buy it with the box, so definitely understandable because 7750 is also quite expensive. Even if you want it without the box, it's still minimum $450. If you want it with the box, obviously it's going to be more. 12 volt sets are not cheap. David, you don't own one yet, being in the US and all. Fair enough. Yep. The journey to start collecting 12 volt in the US is not as easy as other places. But you do own a 7722. Okay. Gabrielle, you are designing you're designing a circuit board to connect this 12 volt 9 volt power function to simulate the spark between the pantograph and the catenary as it received a fair amount of interest. Oh yeah, that's what super cool idea. Oh, track ready, you said 7750, so you still need 7730. Yeah. Although you have a fully complete box. Yeah, that's not cheap. Not cheap. I'm looking at getting one. I think I mentioned yesterday or last time I streamed. I'm looking at getting one later this summer with a complete box from Ella. Actually, they said that they would save it for me once I earn enough money. So that is my plan. I like the fact that the crane here, like it actually works, and it's a cool kind of winch system where the string is like wrapped around all this. Trackboard, so it's 63 times in the box, and I'm sure you like it. Built in metal, so oh dang. Do you have a complete box? You really need to figure out how to activate it only at certain speed levels. Do you have like a yeah, I wonder how you could do that. You could probably put a sensor maybe attached to the motor, or you could put one attached to the voltage going to the motor. So when the voltage increases, then you there's a certain threshold at which the sparks begin to go. Record you bought sets you like more than once, so you can have a collectible item and something you can build with. Okay, that's very valid. Having multiple copies of the set, obviously not cheap, but very cool idea. That's also what I would like to do. Get multiple copies of the sets that I like 7750. I'll own that twice. Technically, I almost owned it a third time because of the parts that I bought for 7777. But I don't like use that to build 7750. I build the engine from 7777 with that, or my own custom steam engines. But I almost could build a third one. I'm just missing two of the narrow windows because I got more of the wide windows so that I can build the engine 7777. All right, so now this is done. Tracker, you also keep 7777 separate. All right, finally, we're almost done with this set. It's one of those sets that feels like it's long. It takes a long time to build, but doesn't actually have that many pieces. And then after this, we can finally start on 7740. It's been a long stream. I never streamed this long before, so I'm wondering if people will start to drop out eventually. Probably. Let's see. Here's the depot, and then I just gotta make the track. It's like 2 sections of track. And a bit of trivia: this set was sold in the U.S. and it did have 12-volt rails, so very technically they did sell 12-volt tracks in the U.S. or 12-volt, but only the tracks. And there were a couple of other sets where they did sell them with 12-volt tracks in the U.S. as well. Like 7857, the Crossing, they phased out the 4.5-volt one because of, I think because it was kind of weak and would like fall apart. All right. Gabriel, you're using two 555 timers, but attaining voltage is getting a bit too complicated to fit in 2x4 brick. Oh wow, yeah, that makes sense. Trackwood is went to the ideas book 7777 is almost always urged the steam locomotive. It's kind of true, but since the steam engine from that book is like probably the most iconic build, there are other builds obviously, but I think the steam engine is definitely the most iconic. Given that 7750 is a pretty legendary set for being the only like big steam engine released as a set, it makes sense to me that 7777 is like even more famous. I'm gonna move this here and then move 7823 over here. And then now we have all this space and I can build 7740. Here's my 7740. As always, like my 12-volt sets are, it's very meticulously organized, as you can see. Yeah, this set is in overall great condition. It's just missing the tray lid on top. But yeah, let's get started. Am I into any other types of Legos, other themes or eras? I used to collect some Star Wars stuff. I collected City when I was a lot younger, so I still have some old City sets. Most of them are kind of like destroyed. I have like a big bin of parts that I use, that I used to use for like just building stuff. So all my sets are kind of destroyed in that bin. I want to like rebuild some of them and sell them, but I haven't really had the time and motivation to do that recently. Yeah, City, Star Wars. I used to collect Chima a little bit, but mostly trains. I definitely got the most use out of my Lego trains. I remember my dad and I, we used to build big layouts and then we would race trains around. So many pieces in this set, like you can't even see them on camera. Oh, Technic as well. I did collect some Technic. I remember I love the Forest machine 42080. I saved up to get that set a couple like many years ago. I love the pneumatics in that set. Um, yeah, and I have some other Technic sets as well. But I don't have any of the older ones. I do love the older Technic sets, and I would consider getting them at some point. I know the 8880, the supercar. I love that set. That's one of the sets that I would like to own someday. For me, like I love mechanical stuff, cars. Um, yeah, so Technic is super cool to me. I'm gonna just leave the sticker sheet over here for now. All right, time to start building. Tricord, in your opinion, there's a sweet spot between 88 and 91 for Technic. What sets were released during that period? I'll move the camera off a little bit so you guys can see the building. Hopefully that's a little better. Yeah. All right. So first I gotta grab the minifigures. Just put all the minifigure pieces in like the plastic tray compartment. And my browser just crashed. 1 second. Okay, there we go. Everything's good. Tricord having a very nice Citizen 40 box of trays. Looking good, thank you. Yeah, it's just missing the tray lid, but all the inner trays are present. Has a little bit of damage in the styrofoam of the box. Yeah. And then I got the original sticker sheet for it as well. It's not. It didn't actually come with the set. I bought it like separately, but I just like to have the sticker sheet for the set, anyways. This and Simpson 45 all have like a ton of minifigures that you have to build. I do wish I had the box for Simpson 45. And if I knew, when I started collecting, I should have gotten the boxes for the earlier sets that I got, like Simpson 45, some of the track sets and everything like that. Would have been nice. But I'll probably get the box for that one day. Because 7745 is the only set that I have without the box. So that's all the minifigures. Can we do a quick age check? Oh, hold on. Daniel, you said the Libra 9800 is one of your favorites. Technically, that's wrong. 130 user rocks. Oh, I like the rocks too. Gabriel, your boss 740 doesn't have the two trays. It has the transparent and the green one. Age check for those watching. I'm also 19. I'll be 20 soon. I'm wondering if I should also cool to see younger people. Yeah. Ella's also in college. I'm wondering if I should also like stream on Twitch or something. If people would even watch someone building Lego trains on Twitch. Twitch is just a gaming platform, I know. But I don't know if it's possible to stream on YouTube and Twitch. I think maybe you can stream on YouTube, like through Twitch, but then I would have to stream the main platform I stream on would have to be Twitch then. I don't have like any followers or anything on Twitch. But it might allow me to get more views overall. So I'll be streaming both Twitch and YouTube, maybe, if that works. I don't know if it works. Speaking of younger people collecting 12, I think Lego 12 fan was also like in college when he was posting, because he mentioned stuff about university a couple of times. So I think there are some younger collectors out there. It's just most of the people are obviously older because it was these sets were childhood sets for them. All right, time to add the LUTs. I'll wait to put that through until I finish the like the build on the top, because it's really annoying to have to build on top of the cable. I really love the engine design of 7740. It's super, iconic. Oh, Martin Cool, welcome in. I know your channel. Shame to keep everything accessible for YouTube. There are some. Oh, so there's some people. Desert Tune 61, you win. There are some people speculating through like this. The Seal 750 on 10,000 for 10,000 euros. That's ridiculous. Yeah, that's not the price that it'll actually sell for. The market price, estimated market price for a Seal 7750, based on, I think it's Brickset or Brick Economy, is like somewhere around $4,000. So I don't think it will sell for 10,000 euros. But yeah. Yeah, that definitely won't sell for 10,000 euros. Maybe 5,000, but 10,000 would be. I would be very surprised if it sold for 10,000. You wonder if some of the sellers just have old warehouses full of sealed sets. I wonder that as well. That'd be pretty impressive, because some of the sealed sets obviously are very, very expensive. So, but it's estimated that not many sealed 7750s. I don't think there are many left in the world, because they're so ridiculously rare. Or any 12-volt set. Although sealed 77 like 35, sealed 7745, I don't know about, but sealed 7735 is not as rare. That brings another point. There are much more often sales for red motors, some specific windows, and other rare parts. Yeah, I would imagine it's profitable for sellers to just part out their sets, because you can probably get more money if you just sell the parts, because of like bundle pricing. If you buy more stuff, and that kind of I would imagine it kind of applies to 7750 and other rare sets, where if you part out the sets, they sell for more. However, obviously, if you have the original instructions and box, then then the set alone will sell for more than, or the set, like when it's all together, will sell for more than if it's a part. Actual 750 sets for sale, so some people are. Yeah, no, exactly. People are just parting them out and selling the parts individually. Yeah, even like with all the parts that I bought for my 7777, I it was $40 less because I bought two of the like compared to compared to buying a 7750, like all the parts for it, it's $40 less like off the bat because I only bought two of um the expensive windows and four of the cheap ones instead of the expensive ones and two of the cheap ones. So it's $40 less from that immediately. And then I didn't buy the red motor because I repaired that. But even then, it was about $450 for all the parts. But if I was to part it together, again, this is including shipping, but shipping for parts is not that much. Um, like if I was to piece it all together, it probably would cost me $600 maybe to buy all the pieces for it. Um, maybe more. So sellers can get $600 for the pieces, but they're only able to sell the set, assuming you don't have the instructions or boxed for like 450 or so, then they're always going to part it out. Or not always, but like it makes sense financially to part it out. All right, so now we can put some of the windows in, and here are some of the exclusive parts to 7740. These black two by or the not the black, the gray 2x2 windows. These aren't that expensive because there were 10 of them in the set, but they're still around $2.50 each. So if you want a full set of them, they'll cost you about $25. I've heard you've been trying to repair a red motor, but have yet to manage to pry it open. You see my videos on that, but it's more difficult to get it open. Yeah, it's not easy. I never showed myself like filming. I've never filmed myself opening a motor because it's a long process, and I I would like to do that eventually. Maybe the next one that I do, I'll do like a live stream or like a more in-depth repair video. But I always just wanted to focus on repairing the motor and not getting stressed for, oh, what do I have to do for making a video or anything like that. So I never showed the actual full process of opening a motor. It's definitely a process. the engine, the roof panels. I do love the roof for 7740, the engine. I think the pantographs are. I like the older brick built pantographs compared to the ones in like 7735. Or not 7735, 7745. I think the brick built pantographs look better, and they're much less flimsy. The ones in 7745, I don't like the hinge. I feel like you've always got to, get them right each time. But ones in 7727 and 7740 are much more sturdy. Oh, also these yellow corner pieces are exclusive to 7740. These are around, I think only a couple dollars each because most people, they don't use them. I think the use case for not many people are just going to go use a double convex 3x3 yellow slope. But obviously, if you want 7740, you kind of need it. Hello, Lego Tours. Is that NI or NL? Welcome to the stream. You checked LS7760 listing as announced without Bryce original price, without box originally priced €2, deal price €272. Is that on the eBay link that I sent? I think that's them, but I'm not 100% certain. So you might just want to double check or email, just confirm. Almost done with the roof pieces for this. Bricklink, okay. That's not a competitive price for a 760 without box. Honestly, yeah, I agree with that. Usually they're around $200 if you get them without the box. This is the other one, the motors that I repaired with the contacts from Cesar. This is a very good motor, strong, good condition. Here's the motor bogey done. And I gotta make the motor. How are those contacts expensive but worth buying? In my opinion, yes. If you need replacement contacts, I have them actually. The motors in my 7750 and my 7740, they both have those contacts, and they've been working super well for me. So yeah, not sponsored, but I would definitely recommend these. As you can see, I mean, there's a little bit of wear on them, but that's from the like the black dust that gets on the rails. Other than that, as you can see, like they're still in very good condition. So definitely would recommend if you need an extra set of contacts. If I am gonna go replace contacts on my motors in the future, I'm just gonna use those contacts, just buy them. And like they're like what I think $10-15, which um it's not like dirt cheap, but in my opinion, they are worth it. I would buy them. Canada is the one country closer to me than us EU guys. That is very true. What is a competitive price for a red motor? Um, First gen, two holes, not three, 150 euros. I think, yeah, that's probably about right. Red motors have recently gotten a little bit more expensive. I remember when you could buy them for around 110 to $120 US dollars. But yeah, most good listings are going to be somewhere around the $150 range, unfortunately. I love how in the 7740 bogey, you just basically stack a bunch of plates on top of each other. The newer ones in the 7755, 7745, they're a little bit more like complex design where you actually build with like different kinds of plates and stuff. But these ones are just stack three plates on top of each other. So here's the engine. I love this design. I think this is, I mean, 7750 is my favorite set, but this might be like my favorite engine design. I love this design. It's so cool to me. All right, I'm gonna put this. Where should I put it? I'll put it on this side over here, which I know you guys can't see. Thing is, you better pay 20 euros more for a motor that's in better condition than a Lobau. I agree with that. Yeah. It's better to pay a little bit more for a motor that you know is not going to break down. All right, on to the first passenger wagon. And this one, I got to get some of the stickered assemblies out. when I put the minifigures in the sets, I always like try to put them exactly how it is in the instructions, which I don't know, maybe that's a very basic thing to do, but that's just how I like to do it. Thanks for dropping in, Daniel. Sit down again. I'm standing up. My back hurts. Passenger car construction is like so simple for these sets. It's just like 2 layers of bricks and then windows, doors, and very simple construction for the what do you call them? Like the openings at the end so you can go between wagons. And yeah, and then the bogies. Like it's the same thing for 7740. Obviously the interior is like a little bit different if you look at 7815 or like 7820. But it's the same general build. 7745 has like a little, well, it does have the seats are raised so that the wire can go under them, but it's the same build for the windows pretty much, and then everything. That's of course, it's my freestyle 12-volt stuff. Mock, I just want to make it to have some train cars to play with. Do I do I want designs or stick to original? Well, if you remember a while back, I did do like a series about designing my own 12-volt train, steam engine. That was for it's actually for a school project that I decided to do a 12-volt train for that. I do want to design some more trains. I designed another train in a studio that I think I built it once. Yeah, I like designing steam engines, and I obviously did the 7777, that build. And then here, I'll show it on camera. I'm going to do a review of it soon. I have this one, which again, I don't know if you can consider this an original design. This is the engine that's featured on one of the pictures and on the box of 7750. It's like a little diesel engine. That's where all my steam engine parts are currently. I'm going to do a review on that because I think it's a cool engine. Yeah, I haven't actually designed any like diesel engines or like electric engines, like with black motors and stuff. Maybe eventually. I do like to, make my own engines though. But I feel like building the official sets is like more. I think I like that better than designing my own stuff because I like to follow the instructions and just build the stuff that's officially gray area, if you know what I mean. Like when you're designing your own thing, it's never going to be exactly for the like exactly. How do I want to phrase this? It's never going to be exactly in line with all of the building techniques used during the gray era. It was never like designed by Lego, so like it's always there's some element of that you're putting in that's like not original, if that makes sense. But um, yeah, I have built my own steam engine, and I'd like to do more. I like building like diesel engines with the steam engine parts, which is why I like that design. The alternate one from 7750. Again, there were never any instructions for it. It was just literally one picture on the box. But I think I've recreated it pretty well. Like everything in terms of dimensions, everything lines up perfectly. There's no way to know how they constructed it, but I know I didn't do it correctly because there are some like brick seams that are not correct, but all the dimensions are correct. I know that. The engine that I designed actually for school was even longer than 7777. I think it was longer. Maybe it was the same length. I don't remember actually. I think the 7777 one is 28 studs long. Mine might have been. I want to say mine might have been 32, with a little bit more of a complex wheelbase, but I don't remember 100%. It was a while ago. It's over a year ago that I did that, almost 2 years ago. I really like the videos where I had to source the parts and do the historic research and build 7777. Yeah, that was like my series that I made. That was for school. That series did all right. It was more of a I make different kinds of videos. I make ones for people who don't know about 12 volt. Those are my layout videos. Those typically do a lot better in terms of views. But then the longer form ones where I do more like in-depth stuff, research, and history videos, those are more for the diehard 12 volt fans. But yeah, that was definitely one of my more in-depth series. I like building big steam engines, like with the big wheels and the more complex wheelbases. But it's hard to figure out how to do it because the wheelbases sometimes they just don't work. Like you have to make them exactly so it'll work on the curves and everything. Um, and yeah, it's not always straightforward to make the bigger wheelbases. And it has to be not super tall as well. If you make it too tall, then the train just looks very weird. I think the 7777 wheelbase that Lego, made in the ideas book, That one's quite good. The one that I made is, I think, is good. It looks actually a little bit sleeker than the 7777 one. Like there are some areas in 7777 that wheelbase um, where I think it could be improved a bit in terms of, like there are some gaps in the chassis. The one that I made for the engine that I made was a little bit more, I want to say, refined. There are more tiles in it. It looks smoother. Not so many gaps in the chassis. Yes, the 7777 wheelbase is definitely something else. I mean, the 7750 wheelbase is, I mean, obviously it's cool. It's a big steam engine wheelbase, but it's just it's just two bogies. Obviously, they're like custom bogies. They made them specifically for a 7750, but it's just two bogies. The articulated wheelbases, I really like those. I think they're super cool. I like the narrow windows in 7740 and like the sleeper carriage as well, 7815. Um, I think breaking up like the basic, you know, big windows with some of the narrow windows is quite cool. This window glass got stuck. I don't like having to push it out and then putting it back in. There. The chef in your census always seems to be missing. Interesting. I wonder why. Yeah, 7740 and then 7745. Obviously, they both have the chefs. I think they made one in the station as well. 7824. I only built that set like once or twice, so I don't 100% remember which minifigures that one has, but I think it has a chef because there's like a snack stand in it as well. I always like to build these like the 3 tall pillars first because um, if you just put the bricks on when they're like attached to it, you just stack them one by one while they're already on the train, then they will never be straight. So I always try to like align them before I put them on. They're not perfect, but it's definitely pretty good. Also about this set, I don't really like that it's like the back is like blocked off. Um, because then if you put like the 7819, the postal wagon behind it, and there's like no, which is like normally how it's supposed to be done, not exactly supposed to be done, but how most people do it, and that makes the most sense for the order of the train. But if you do it that way, then there's no like opening from the dining car to the post wagon, which again kind of makes sense, but it's just kind of annoying to have the blocked off part not at the actual end of the train. This car is also interesting because if you bend it, you can see like there's nothing attaching these two parts. Obviously, the stability is improved once you have like the undercarriage on, but because of how it's built, there's no like thing going over the door. Nearing the end of the set, I can see that people are starting to drop out. I've been streaming for like, I don't even know, 3 hours, I think, something like that. So makes sense. I'll do one more stream with 7745 and the station 7810 sometime this week. That's what I'm planning to do. So watching, I know Trecord, you've been here for the whole time. I think most other people probably dropped out by now, but that's okay. Again, I've been streaming for a while. So here's the roof of 7740, the dining car. Now you can really see if I move this, that everything on top kind of comes off. But hopefully the stability will be improved once you put the undercarriage on. I also like the undercarriages for the older sets, all the 12 volt, like the longer passenger wagons. They're very simple, but I like them. I do want to get 7819, although the one thing that really annoys me about 7819 is that it's one plate taller than all of the other ones because of the sliding doors. So it like never perfectly aligns, and that just makes me annoyed. And there's no way, I don't think there's any way to like lower it because of the height of the sliding doors. I've been trying to make some YouTube shorts lately for like promoting my streams, but they've done actually quite well. So I'm wondering if I should like continue creating YouTube shorts. Thing is, I think the rate of people that like will actually pivot from watching your shorts to watching your long form content is very low, because most people when they're on shorts they're just scrolling. And how many people are actually gonna go watch long form content from that? Here's the dining car. There's all that. So now I'm just gonna make the station. Let me grab all of the stickered parts here and the seats. I'm just gonna move everything over here. It's annoying to reach out and get everything behind the camera. Code, you don't watch YouTube shorts? Yeah, I mean, it's mostly younger people. I don't watch YouTube shorts. My younger brother does. Sometimes I watch Instagram Reels, which is probably not a good thing. Yeah, that's short form content. But I think most people that are watching that are probably not going to go and be like, oh, I really want to go watch a 30-minute review or like like longer form content. But I guess it can be good just for getting views. But the watch time from those don't actually translate into hours that will get you monetized. I still want to get, ad revenue, because I only have about 2,000 watch hours in the past year, partially because I haven't been posting much in the past year, but I would still like to get to that, where I can get ad revenue. And I still need like 2,000 watch hours. That's one of the reasons I'm doing these streams, because I want to get some more watch hours. And also my 1,000 subscriber stream was the first stream that I did. That was pretty fun. So I, want to keep doing them. But yeah. YouTube Shorts hours, they don't like the watch hours, they don't actually count towards monetizable watch hours. Yo, how's it going, Philip? Nice to see you. I'm almost done with the stream, just building the last part of 7740. Oh, you can't even see the train on camera. I should move that here. And now the camera's angled down, so it's hard to see. But yeah, 7740. Hi, Ella. What are you building an LDD, Philip? Oh, 7740, nice. Designing a signal box. Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, we're designing 2 signal boxes for the custom lights. Closer to the server soon, yeah. Ella, when will there be a next stream? I'm gonna do one more stream where I build 7745 and 7824 and 7810. Those are the last 3 sets that I have to build before everything's built up again. So I'll do that sometime this week, maybe tomorrow. I'm not sure. I'll figure it out maybe today, and then I'll post like I'll post the stream today at some point. So just check the live streams page, and yeah, that should be good. We'll make another YouTube short about it. Oh, okay, that makes sense. So here's the station, and everything is now complete for 7740. Oh, it's tomorrow or Thursday. So maybe I'll do it tomorrow because Thursday I might be busy. I'm not sure yet. The camera a little bit. Backward, thanks for dropping in. Yeah, I'll have some more content out soon about the 7750, the alternate model, and 7735. I'm hoping the 7735 review will do well because that's a pretty popular set. That's fine. Put all this stuff back in the box. Thank you, Gabrielle. I'll put this back in my box. Ella, you're looking forward? You'll write me a mail with more information about things tomorrow when you get back home. Sounds good, Ella. No problem. Well, check BPB Discord chat. Oh, cool. I like that. You could definitely like put a 12-volt light brick, in the roof of that if you have any spare, and then put a little bit of light in it. I do like putting when I have a spare light brick. Sometimes I'll put it in the. Sometimes I'll put it in like the 7866, like the crossing, because then there's a little bit of extra light. Yeah, I like that. Or 7750 boiler. I don't actually do that usually, but you definitely can do that. I was gonna put a light inside this boiler for the new, like the 7750 alternate model, the diesel engine that I made, but I figured out that it's actually not possible to do them because of the weight brick setup, and I want to use 2 weight bricks in that. I feel if you don't have any 12-volt light bricks. Ella, yeah, probably same time tomorrow. But I'll make the stream. I gotta just make sure I don't have anything on my schedule for tomorrow that I might need to do that would interfere with that. But yeah, most likely same time tomorrow. Maybe I should also post some like Eurobricks and the battery powered bricks, the server or the group chat. I'll let you do this custom. Okay, so maybe you could put a custom light in there. Yeah, I don't know. I really like having the lights in my layout. All right, this marks about yeah, I'm about done for today, but I'll probably do another stream tomorrow. Yeah, I'm gonna stream for like 3 hours, and I want to do some other stuff. But make some more. I'll make some YouTube content soon. I know. What time do you get home tomorrow, Philip? Maybe I can stream like a little bit later. No, that, yeah, I know it's like 9:30 in Europe or 10:30 depending on time zones. Or you're back at 16. Oh yeah, so if I stream same time tomorrow, that should be okay for you. So yeah, okay. So then I'll double check my schedule, but I will I'll set up the stream and post it today, and then you guys should know probably what time we're gonna stream probably tomorrow. Yeah, do the last stream of building everything. And maybe I'll do like a little video about showing all my sets built because it's been a bit since I've done that. Same time tomorrow. Okay, so sounds like tomorrow works for most people. So I will plan to do that as long as I don't have anything else in my schedule. Same time as today. Sounds good. All right. Thanks everyone for dropping in today and keeping the chat alive. Yep. 12:30 o'clock Eastern. Yeah, so same time as today. So I'll do 12:30 U.S. Eastern again. So it'll be 6 or 7 p.m. in Europe. Yep. Thanks everyone for watching, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow. And make sure to check out my new videos when I release them soon. Yeah. Thanks everyone for watching.